This is day one of a 5-day fast, and in this video I'm going to tell you the reasons why I'm doing a 5-day fast, and I'm actually going to show you day by day what it feels like to do it. I've done 3-day fasts, I've done 1-day fast, but this is my first 5-day fast, and it is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now on day one. And yeah, hopefully I'm going to explain to you exactly all the benefits that I feel, drawbacks, and how it can help you improve your performance, or potentially just help you out overall, or at least why it's going to help me out. All right, team, so I'm doing a fast, so 5 days. You might be like, that's a long time to not eat. So I'm going to explain to you exactly why I'm doing it. First of all, I've had a bit of a fascination with fasting, or the idea of fasting, since I had a really good friend of mine get diagnosed with like stage 4 extremely rare brain cancer, like super terminal, like kind of pack your stuff, you're about to leave. And he is an absolute fucking savage, this guy, right? So he's a friend of mine from Special Operations. He was in my unit, then he went over to SASR. He has a Medal of Gallantry, I think, Star Medal of Gallantry, which is like the second or third highest that you can get. And he's an absolute savage of a human being. And they told him, like, pack your stuff, you're going to go. And he was like, nah, fam, I'm good. And so what he did was he built his way up to fasting for 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, and then 10 days at a time, because he did a whole bunch of research, and they were like, this thing's going to die if you fast and you're in keto all the time, because it's living off glycogen, yada, yada, yada. I'm obviously not a doctor, and I'm kind of retarded. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I think, like, it was incredible to see. And he literally killed the cancer. And he had another guy at the same time that had the same extremely rare cancer. And that guy did the same thing, and he killed it too. And when he went to the doctor, they were like, not even surprised. They were just like, yeah, no, we knew that would work. That combined with the chemo and everything. And they were like, well, why don't you tell everyone to do it? And they go, oh, mate, no one's doing that. You know, like, no one's doing that. He was fasting for so long that he was having seizures. 10 days of just water is a hell of a fast. And so now I was in the army, and I've got a pretty banged up body, right? Like, I've got tons of injuries and like really inflamed gut. It's called war belly. Like, it's not an official diagnosis or anything like that, but like, it's just sort of a thing that people who go to war end up getting. And you know, my guts have been fucked for years. So the other day, or maybe like 3 weeks ago, my wife was like, hey, I'm going to do a fast. You want to do it with me tomorrow? I was like, yeah, sweet. And I'm the type of person that, like, the less notice I have, the better of things. I just like to kind of jump into stuff. And so I was like, yeah, sweet, I'll do the fast. And I was like, did 1 day, and then I was like, oh yeah, I feel good. I'm going to keep going. So then I did 2 days, and I ended up doing 3 days. And like, my body felt 10 times better at the end of it. And I actually had like insane mental acuity. And I could even, like, to the point where I've got ADHD. I've had it since I was like 12. I've been on medication since I was about 12 on and off. But I like didn't really, I took way less of my meds, and I was like good to go. And I felt fantastic. All of my knees and everything felt way, way better. And I've got like really bad wrists, and cause I'm hypermobile. And I was like, oh man, like, this feels awesome. And I was like hyper productive. Like, I think I shot like 5 YouTube videos in that 3 days, which may not sound like a lot, but YouTube videos, like, they take a lot of planning. And I also like avoid shooting them. I don't know why. I just do. It's one of my things, right? And so I was like, you know, if I fuck around, I might as well find out what's it like doing a 5-day fast, because like 3 was fine. Let's see if 5 is any harder, and if the benefits are better. Obviously, I'm not just going to stop eating my entire life, but I think like a periodic fasting period is going to be pretty solid. So right now I'm in day 1. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm outside trying to get some sunlight and just shoot a video. And I feel good. Like, day 1's always was the hardest of the last one, because I think it's like your body kind of going like, well, you haven't eaten your breakfast and 2 snacks and lunch yet. And so we just kind of power through that. I'm someone that, like, if I don't have the ability to, like, if I go gray area, like, if I'm like, okay, you could have 500 calories today, I would for sure blow it out to 4,000. But if I can have nothing, I'm totally fine with that. I'm like, that doesn't bother me. Mentally, I find that far easier to deal with. And so today, all I'm having is like some black coffee and water. And like, you know, if I want peppermint tea or something like that. So I've had like 1 coffee, maybe I've had 2 black coffees and just a bunch of water. And then I'll probably have some peppermint tea for dinner. Get a little bit crazy with it. And yeah, I feel really good actually. I've got like raucous tennis elbow right now because we're in like a different bed than usual because we're renovating our house, and so we're at like a surface apartment, and so that's fucked with my neck and everything like that. So I'm really hoping that the inflammation levels just kind of drop overall, and then I can be in a little bit less pain. The mental acuity side is really, really interesting because like last time I did the 3-day fast, I was hyper productive, and so I really want to see what it does to my productivity, what it does to my like follow up, what it does to my sales game, and all that kind of good stuff. Because like maybe some of like the shit down type stuff that you get to feel every now and then, a lot of it's just because like it's so hard to eat super clean in this society that we're in. Maybe giving my guts a bit of a rest and getting my brain burning those ketones will have a massively positive benefit. So like I said, this is day one. That's the reason why I'm doing it. And yeah, I will give you updates, and this video will be all 5 days. So, if I come here crying and moping by day 4, I shouldn't have done it. Then I guess we'll know how I feel. But yeah, anyway, that's day 1. All right, fast video day 2. So it's now been 48 hours since I've had any food. So this is like getting close to the end of day 2. It's about like nearly 7 p.m. And I haven't eaten since about 7 p.m. Sunday and 7 p.m. Tuesday. We just got back from the house. We're doing the renovations at the moment. I'm doing a full, like, in-depth renovations video. Probably take like 4 months to film and edit, but that'll be kind of cool. I don't, if you're not interested, whatever, but I think it'll be fun to shoot. And I'm gonna give like just a summary of how I'm feeling. So this is like I'm the peak hungry. I am the hungriest I've been. And I'm uncomfortable at the moment. My mouth tastes horrible because I'm in such strong ketosis. But like mental clarity is super high. One of the interesting things, like today, I locked in all day. So I had meetings from roughly 6:45 a.m. is when I started. Did a podcast in the morning, and then I had like sales calls, and I had sales trainings, meetings, stuff like that. And then I had like about 4 hours where I was just kind of doing stuff. And usually like I struggle with those times. Like I'm a hard worker, but like I struggle to stay on task. I'm always working, but like I'll like kind of shift from task to task because I have ADHD. And so, but when I'm fasting, like I'm fucking locked in. Like I'm rebuilding my entire YouTube membership on Patreon. And today I almost rebuilt the entire program today. And I got like tons of stuff done. And I never felt like I wasn't on task or on point, and I felt like I had real mental clarity, and I took less of my ADHD meds than what I usually do. I know people are like, you don't need it. It's like, nah, like I've had that for a long time. I did a long time without it, long time with it. It definitely helps me a significant amount. Because I don't have like the fun TikTok ADHD. I have like the one that is kind of annoying. But it's an interesting thing when you're kind of like physically uncomfortable, but mentally super dialed in. And I think I'm going to try and figure out a way that I can like incorporate more fasting. Maybe it's intermittent fasting. Maybe it's like days of like a day and a half of no eating. You know what I mean? Or like I don't eat on Mondays or something like that, because I really do feel like extremely clear and locked in at the moment. And having done some research on some YouTube videos and stuff like that, like the burning of the ketones is supposed to be a big part of that. Like the ketones kind of, help break up the plaque in the brain, and they just get rid of brain fog and stuff like that. I'll be interested to see how I feel tomorrow. I've done a 3-day before. I've never gone further than that. And on the 3rd day, like you start to reintroduce food. So like I had food starting at like, sort of midday on the 3rd day. I had like an apple, et cetera, et cetera. But this time I'm going like, I'm reintroducing food on the Monday, but I'm doing like bone broth. So I reintroduced it on day 5, but I'm doing like bone broth and then a couple other things. Like today I had like sales call with Cardinal Ventures, went very, very well. It was like call 5, I think. Call 5. And it looks like that's locked in moving forward. Did some development stuff and did some JV stuff with Ed Strengths and Moderate Genius, because he's built a full amazing HubSpot integration with Dialer, which is awesome. So looking at how we can help roll that out to clients, which is great. And just overall felt great all day. Like I was like hungry and a bit uncomfortable all day in that way, but just mentally like insanely sharp. And like usually around this time, like a little bit tired and, feeling a bit meh towards the end of the day. After like a long day, because I've been going for over 12 hours now. But like, man, I'm locked in, and like I've had way less coffee than normal. I'm not drinking my usual. I usually have like an almond latte. I'm just having like a coffee tea bag, and I've only had two, and the other ones have been like peppermint tea and water. That's all I've had. And yeah, it's like a really interesting, unique feeling. If I was on sales calls today, I had three, and yeah, man, dialed in. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep going with this. Right now, I feel really good. I am physically uncomfortable. This is like I'm super hungry right now. Like I could eat the ass out of a low-flying duck. But overall, like I like this. This is something that I could do somewhat regularly. I'm kind of an extremist, so I do kind of tend to go overboard with things. Like once I do the 5, I'm like, what happens if I do a 10? You know what I mean? But that's probably not great. Um, but yeah, so I'll keep you updated on my day 3. All right, team. So it's 1:15 on day 3. I feel like garbage. I am level 10 Struggle Street right now. I just finished physio because like I'm in a new bed because of the renovations, and like because I'm super bendy, like I'm hypermobile. I'll show you. Hey guys, what's up? Matt here, and I've noticed that a lot of you are not subscribed. So what I want you to do is like go over and hit the little subscription. Like the kind of content that I do, and you're like, hey, how can I get similar content but pay for it? Then I have a membership. You can go over and join that at any stage that you want. It's like $49 a month, up to about $200 a month, and we do like live Q&As. We have a coaching call nearly every single day, and there's like well over 100 videos, and I upload like sort of private trainings and stuff that I do all the time. So if you want to check that out, go for it. Sign up through YouTube, cancel anytime, all that kind of good stuff. And anyway, back to the video. Bye. I'm super, super bendy, which means that like if my life isn't set up properly, that causes all kinds of problems. It meant that I could throw a ball really far and really fast when I was younger and all that kind of stuff. But as you get older, it becomes a total fucking nightmare. But so, because we're in a new bed, anyway, it's like fucked my arm, and I've got like a raucous tennis elbow and golfer's up, even though I don't golf or play tennis. So there you go. But getting that fixed up, but I've got like this mad headache right here. Work has still been fine. Like it hasn't really affected me that way. It's just more like I'm fucking miserable. Day 3, I watched a bunch of stuff said day 2 is the worst. Then I watched a bunch of stuff saying day 3 is the worst. I'm sure day 4 I'll find stuff that says day 4 is the worst. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Hopefully this is like I'm getting over the hump. Because I'm proper in the locker. But my arm and all the injuries like are feeling better. So I think inflammatory wise, like feeling fantastic. So outside of like my having a headache and like getting puffed walking anywhere, like I'm not in any pain except for like that stuff, but that's all better. It's getting better anyway. So I think like the usual kind of back pain that I have and all that kind of shit is not there right now, which is fantastic. And so the plan is like to keep this going. Obviously today, tomorrow, and on day 5, reintroduce like bone broth and like some real small stuff, and then kind of reintroduce food over the course of a while. And then the plan is to stick like pretty clean, like very clean for like a good month. And then kind of see if I can do a bit of a reset on the old back and just body in general. After like moving house and traveling, like I think I did like 8 international trips this year or something like that, something crazy. And we got a lot of stuff coming up, Christmas, all that kind of stuff, and Dialer's kind of crazy, and my membership's going crazy. So, but yeah. But this is a Grenadier. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this. This is my Grenadier. I fucking love it. It's really dope, right? It's a very cool car. The history of this car is like it was some billionaire when they did the new Defender. Some guy was like, "That's gay," and because it is. And then the guy was a billionaire. So like, this is a story of why it's good to be a billionaire. In case you guys didn't think it was. But he was like, "Well, I want to do that," and so he was like, "Well, give me the rights to Defender, and I'll make my own." And they were like, "Nah, fam." And so he sued them, and like won, and then he made this dope ass thing. So it's like. it's like a pretty crazy car. It's got like off-road wise. Like I love off-roading. I used to do it all the time in the army and stuff like that. This thing's a fucking monster. Like you cannot bug it. You can spray the whole thing down. Like I've had really expensive sports cars and all that kind of stuff. I like this car more because like it's just impossible to destroy. And like if you've ever had like a sports car with 22-inch rims and stuff like that, you know, like little rubber bands for things, like you're buying new. It's just a hassle. Whereas this thing could survive a fucking nuke. Also, like it's usually packed out good to go for like apocalypse because like I don't mind me a bit of prepping, if you know what I mean. And so it's usually fully kitted out, good to go. I got go bags. I got the whole thing. Because why not? I like my family. And we can just chuck stuff in the car, go. I got a tent on the roof. It's dope, super comfortable. I got like power supplies. This thing can go forever. And there's like no terrain this thing can't just destroy. I took it out before driving for like a week with the family, and it was amazing. And that's going to be like a yearly trip for us up at Fraser Island. So yeah, none of that is to do with fasting. But the less I think about fasting, the happier I am, because it's one of those things where like it sucks every part of it. But like in the Bible, it talks about fasting a lot, right? Because fasting is one of the benefits of fasting is like it grounds you in being like a person and realizing that you feed yourself both physically, mentally, emotionally with lots of unnecessary stuff. And so, you know, it's supposed to like, you know, it does all the stuff that I've talked about health wise, but also one of the things is like if you then meditate, you know, one of the aims is to bring you closer to God, which I'm trying to do these days. You know, tonight I'm going to do some good quality just thinking, trying to be with the big guy. So that's the plan for tonight. And hopefully the fact that I'm wanting and without it's a good space to be humble and, you know, have a good chat with the big guy, which is the plan. So yeah. So anyway, I'll let you know how I go on day 4. Or if I'm like raucously bent over dying from keto flu later on today, I'll let you know. All right, so it's now 6:30 at night on day 4 of the fast. So day 1 was okay. Day 2 was pretty rough. So the night of day 2 was very rough, which I've done. It's funny because last time I did a 3-day fast, like it didn't happen, but this time it did. But this time it was like just water basically. So maybe that's why. Day 3, but day 2 I had like mad mental clarity. Like I felt like a fucking killer. And the nighttime I was like shivering and dying. Day 3, I had absolutely no energy, like negative energy. I still worked fine. Like I sat down, and it's actually been quite weird because I'm not eating. And we're in a service department hotel type thing. I haven't left the house all day. It's 6:30 at night, and because we're in a hotel, I went out to get like a mattress topper thing, and to swing by the new house and check the pool, because it fucking leaves. But it's interesting. I say literally, started work at like 6:45, 7 o'clock, and I didn't leave the house until 6:30, and I did that like all 3 days. So, which is unusual because usually I go out and get a coffee and I'll go do this and I'll go for a little wander like around my area, because like the going out to get a coffee is like, oh, I have a little break. I'll go out, walk to the cafe, get a coffee. It's like a whole thing because I'm not doing that. I'm not having any food. I'm just working. Like, so my new YouTube membership that I'm building out on Patreon is basically done. In 3 days, in my sort of in-between time, I built an entire, like, everything, like, super comprehensive, uploaded, done, which is pretty dope. So I'll be bringing that out pretty soon, probably around the same time as this video, actually. But yeah, so day 4 was pretty okay, actually. It was sort of fine. Still, like, not a ton of energy, like, but I don't feel bad. And the night is a bit better. Like, in the morning, it's a bit rough. But day 4 today was fine. I was pretty locked in all day. It was sort of similar to day 2 in that way. Again, not really that hungry at the moment. I'm pretty fine. I have, like, no pain in, like, the usual places that I have pain, which is pretty wild. Because, like, I have some serious injuries from the military. And tomorrow, the plan is have bone broth in the morning, and maybe an egg, and then like probably have like 500 calories tomorrow, and then from there have like maybe 1,000 calories on Saturday, 1,000 calories on Sunday, or something like that. Maybe just like one meal on Sunday. So, but yeah. So anyway, that's day 4. It's pretty interesting. If you've never done it, give it a try. Not this is advice in any way, shape, or form, but it's pretty interesting. I've definitely like noticed that I'm much more present in my body. I've definitely noticed that I have a much higher sense of like mental acuity and focus than what I do day to day. I've noticed that I'm in much less pain as a 41-year-old ex-special forces guy than what I usually am. And overall, like, it's not terrible. And it's difficult. And I kind of like fucking around and doing difficult things. Like, I kind of like it. I can see myself torturing myself like this on a semi-regular basis. Maybe like 3-4 times a year. I can see myself like once a quarter just say, fuck you, Matt. And just like not eat for 5 days. Like, yeah. Well, it's supposed to be really good for cancer fighting and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll do obviously the recap on day 5. And kind of see how I went and all that kind of stuff, and introducing food and see if I shit myself. You never know, it might happen, right? But overall, like, mental clarity and work, fuck, I've been getting after it. I have worked my ass off this last week. I have gotten so much done, it's not even funny. I've made a ton of big sales. I have, rebuilt a membership, done all my coaching calls that I do. I've built out some new shit. I've filmed 5 YouTube videos, which is like a crazy amount for me to film in a week because I hate filming them. I've just been on point. So yeah, brain fog lifted, feel good. Anyway, let's fast here. Alrighty, so it's day 5 of the fast. I'm actually just about to break it. I've got my tennis elbow. I'm just icing it at the moment. But so it is 10 a.m. something like that. So I'm just gonna have some hard-boiled eggs. You got to keep it like real chill because you can really do yourself a bit of a mischief if you just go straight back into eating. So I probably won't have a full meal for like another day or two. I would say Sunday will be like my first full meal. So like I think what I'm gonna have is this, and then I'll have like a small steak, like grass-fed organic steak for lunch, and then might have dinner, might not. I'll just see how I feel, to see how my guts are going, because like your stomach hasn't done anything for 5 days, and so like you have to reintroduce quite carefully. Last night I had some bone broth, and I'll probably have bone broth like all throughout today because it's got tons of like amino acids and all kinds of really good stuff in it. But yeah, you just kind of drink it like you do a coffee, right? Like it's just put a little bit of bone broth in there and drink it up. So it's actually quite good. It tastes like a stock, really. And so I'm going to do a couple more videos because I want to see kind of how I feel on the subsequent days, because like the refeeds apparently can make you feel quite good. Overall, like today I feel fine. Like I didn't really think about eating. Like it was kind of funny. Like it's 10 a.m. I started work at I think 6:30, and I didn't consider eating or having a coffee, which is really, really odd for me. Usually it's the first thing I do when I get up, but I just had water. And so I feel like far less reliant on coffee, and I'm going to have much less coffee moving forward. I'll probably have like 1 to 2 a day moving forward, just because I think I feel much better. My guts are much better, because coffee just kind of goes straight through you. And yeah, overall, I feel very good. I'm sort of a little bit hungry, again, because I haven't eaten for 5 days, but I think that what I'll do is probably do this 2 to 3 times a year. It feels like a good length. I didn't like the 3-day one was fine, but I feel like you're better off just doing a 5. The next one I do might be a 7, because I'll see the difference between a 3, a 5, and a 7, and then from there I can kind of like tell which one works better. And maybe I do like 2 to 3 7s a year or 2 to 3 5s a year, but just kind of see how I feel. I feel like to be honest, like if I didn't eat today, I couldn't be fucked. Like it doesn't matter. It's an odd thing to say, but I could easily go 7 now. I feel like that at the moment. Like this food, like I'm not interested in eating it. I'm gonna eat it because I'm just like slowly breaking the fast. And a 5-day fast is like eating fuck all for 7 days, and a 7-day fast is really eating fuck all for 9 days. But I could easily go another 2. Like that wouldn't bother me at all. So yeah, very interesting. Like I think mentally feel much sharper than usual. Again, like my medication use is like significantly down, which is very interesting because I've had ADHD since I was diagnosed when I was like 12. That's very interesting to me. Like I didn't think that that would happen, but like my need for it is significantly reduced, which is probably just because like the amount of crap food that we have these days, and I eat well too. Like just the crap food that we have is just so laden with shit that it just does stuff to you. So there's that. I think also like was having too much coffee, not drinking enough water. I like forget to drink water. I'm just one of those people. And then I'll just like chug a liter. But yeah, overall, I would say I feel great. What I didn't like is smelling like shit because you just smell terrible when you're fasting because you're in such deep ketosis that like fat is seeping out of you everywhere and like you have this horrible taste in your mouth the entire time. So yeah, but overall been a really pleasant experience. I'll kind of do a couple more videos today and tomorrow and the next day. Tomorrow is obviously Saturday, so like usually we have like a routine, so that's obviously gonna like kind of like mess with me. I think doing it Monday to Friday is quite good. And then we have like a church thing on Sunday, which is like a big lunch. So I'll be going to that, and I'm going to be very careful with my food. And then my plan is to sort of stick to relatively like low carb, quite clean, high protein for like the next 3 weeks after this, and just kind of like do a bit of a reset, get the body back in a place that I'm happy with, just like feeling physically, because I have a lot less injuries now, and I have a lot of injuries from the military, like a lot. And so this has been a very, very pleasant experience. But yeah, I'll see how we go throughout the rest of the day and doing the refeeds and see how my guts go. But overall, like my brain is working right now, which is good. So here's the wrap up of the fast. Overall, I think it's a very, very positive experience, and I'll definitely be doing it again. I think I will try a 7-day fast because I do like to fuck around and find out a little bit. I think overall benefits were mental clarity was insane. Physical, like how you're feeling, I would say most of the time it was totally fine. There were parts of it that were pretty like, I guess, physically taxing. And I just kind of felt like shit. But I think as an overall, I actually felt quite good. One of the interesting things was like I did the research on how to reintroduce food, and I don't think I did it right. I didn't do it wrong, but I don't think I did it like optimally. And I had a little bit too much food on the reintroduction day. And I was fucked for like 3 or 4 hours. I was like not feeling well at all. I was feeling nauseous. I like felt just kind of shit the whole time. The other interesting thing is I've eaten super clean since, and like I'm getting heartburn from anything that's not clean basically instantaneously, which is odd for me. I do get a little bit of heartburn at night sometimes, but I never get it during the day. But I have like pre-prepared meals, and like one of them was a massive on beef curry, so it's quite a fatty meal, but it's healthy, but it's got lots of fat in it. And I had one bite and immediately was like, nope, not having that. And I went and had an apple instead. So I think like the reintroduction phase, this is it's the 4th of November that I'm saying this. I think I finished on the 31st. This is like 4 full days since I finished, and I'm not eating as much as I was. My sweet tooth is significantly reduced. My requirement for coffee is significantly reduced. I have cut out coffee before, and it was a huge net positive, but I'm not a quitter. So, I keep going with things. Overall, like back pain, standard kind of 41-year-old ex-soldier stuff is reduced overall. My tennis elbow, I got physio, so I don't want to give it all to that. However, the just overall inflammation levels significantly reduced. But I think the best thing by far was insane mental clarity. Like to the point where I felt like I really didn't have to take my ADHD meds. I know I've said this throughout the video before, but like I don't have the pretend fun kind. I have like the literal kind where, it affects my life on a daily basis. And I just felt like I still took it, but it was like reduced with longer periods. So, maybe the way I metabolized it was much slower, which is actually a good thing, and not like, cause I have a very fast metabolism for it. And I would say like, I think I could figure out a world where I could take less of it. And I think the system would be like low carb dinner to sort of induce that, ketosis or, burning more ketones. So like somewhat lowish carb, not like crazy low carb because I lift and all that kind of stuff, but lower carb throughout the day in general, like veggies and reducing complex carbohydrates, and then having like a low carb dinner. So maybe your carbs are at lunch, a type thing, and then intermittent fasting and not eating till lunch. So like first meal of the day, lunch, and then some snacks or whatever, lowish carb dinner. Stop eating at like 8, don't eat again until 12. I think that if I get into a rhythm of that, I think I would have amazing mental clarity in the morning, and then maybe not even have coffee in the morning, or maybe like wait a little bit, buffer it out, maybe have like a green tea or something like that. But I reckon that would be like ideal for me. Now I'm going to experiment a little bit with that, because the mental clarity in the morning for me is a big one. Like I get brain fog in the morning, and I notice it because like I struggle to kind of like, it takes me like 20, 30 minutes to like kick my brain into drive to where I can like eloquently and adequately produce the level of sentence that I need to if I'm coaching or doing a video or whatever. And so I feel like that would be a huge benefit. And I feel like with the mental clarity that I had when I was like full blown ketosis and like hardcore in the middle of the fast, especially like day 2 and 3, I feel like as a beginner sales rep, you could bang out like 6 calls back to back. And I would never say that. But with that much mental clarity and mental stamina, man, you could smash it out. Like the day was effortless. So, that's cool. If you guys like this kind of different content, tell me in the comments. If you don't, tell me. I always like a fight. But yeah. Anyway, interesting results. I think overall, like I lost some weight anyway myself. So, but I feel better. I feel a bit leaner. Overall, feel much healthier after and during. And I think this will be a regular thing.